people need to hire more and more knowledge management lawyers, paralegals, really to deal with these regulations and to observe them. And that's why it is that complex. And of course, not all of these hours, and that's a critical point, can be calculated as billable hours. This is just opportunity costs. And this is exactly the point where we are coming in and saying, okay, using Lex AI will reduce your opportunity costs.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the D4 Data Channel podcast. I'm your host Deepak, and with me we have Miss Susan Funke. Susan has a vast experience in legal consultancy and is a lawyer by practice. She is the co-founder of Lex AI, and she constantly pushes for innovation in the legal practice and operations. So today we will be discussing a lot about how AI technology supports different components in a regulatory sector and about Lex AI. It's a SaaS platform which Susan and her co-founders have developed that helps lawyers and legal experts to speed up the knowledge gaining process. So it's great to have you here, Susan, and thank you for accepting my invitation.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm looking forward to it.
Great. So I have a couple of questions for you today, and starting with this one. So, what are the implications of new laws and regulations on the regulatory landscape, and how are they affecting regulatory professionals?
So yeah, I think this is really the essential point why we also founded Lex AI. The problem is that we have that many regulations. I'm not sure how it is in Asia, but at least in Europe, we have a pretty complex regulatory landscape. We have the European level consisting of directives, regulations, guidelines, recommendations, so many legislative but also non-legislative acts. And in addition, of course, we have many member states, and at least the directives, they need to be transposed into national law. And as we have these several layers, which at the beginning seem to be harmonized, but of course are definitely not 100% harmonized. There are still many differences. So there is a regulatory complexity, meanwhile, that lawyers and legal departments, people from business development, everybody who needs to understand basically regulations and the impact of these regulations, they are struggling with this. So the impact is massive, and this leads to the fact that basically you need to observe more and more regulations. At least on a European level, we have round about 2,000 legislative and non-legislative acts per year. So 700 going out of, let's say, operation. So you have to observe only on a European level 2,500, 2,700 acts. And this is more or less or much more than a critical mass. It's really a horrible situation, and this leads to the point that people need to hire more and more knowledge management lawyers, paralegals, really to deal with these regulations and to observe them. And that's why it is that complex. And of course, not all of these hours, and that's a critical point, can be calculated as billable hours. This is just opportunity costs. And this is exactly the point where we are coming in and saying, okay, using Lex AI will reduce your opportunity costs.
Right, right. So, uh, over to the next question. Like you actually gave the intro to the Lex AI solution which you are actually creating. So, like, what are the other key offerings from Lex AI solution?
So what we are offering, and with regards to the legal value chain, we are really at the very beginning when it comes to research, knowledge, gaining knowledge management. We are not interested, let's say, in a contract life cycle, things like this. We are really at the very beginning, and this is where we are also focused on. So our platform helps to, first of all, to find the law, to observe the law really from the draft stage until it will become effective. And what we will also offer in addition, or what we are already offering, are what we are calling a special or enhanced formats, summaries, and wallpapers, which help you to understand the law which are today completely prepared manually by the law firms or the knowledge management lawyers. And on our platform, you can find all of these different formats which are aggregating the law, but which will help you to understand the law and especially to understand also the structure of the law. And that helps you also to understand the whole regulatory landscape, because what we have usually is that there is not just a single standalone regulatory act. It is linked to several other acts. And first of all, it's difficult to find all the other acts, to be aware that the act you are currently looking for is linked to other acts. So there's always the risk that you are forgetting something, and that you are simply not aware of everything, which of course might lead to failure when a client comes to you and say, hey, I have a problem with this and that. Then you think, okay, I have the solution, but the solution you have in mind is maybe not 100% complete, because you are simply not aware of the new or updated regulatory act. And this is always the risk. And this is where we also help to reduce risk and also compliance issues.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So, over to the next point. What other service options are there in this market, and like how Lex AI's platform is actually different from them?
So this is a good question. We have already been asked several times. So the point is, of course, there are other offerings where you can already read the law. You can somehow mark it, and we also have research platforms. But the point is that also the way how to search for a law is how we are preparing it is a completely different one. And if you have a look at our current app version, which is already available as a pre-version in the App Store, you can see how we are preparing it, how we make people able to understand the structure of the law. And I think I already mentioned it, we are offering these kind of special formats. So we are offering already aggregated knowledge about the law, about the structure of the law. So we are going one step further. You cannot only find it, but you can also better understand it. So this is the next logical step. What people are doing today manually, and the way coming to the, let's say, the way how we make people understand the structure of the law is, you can compare it really to Netflix or Amazon Prime. We have these sections, and this time we are not talking about a movie or a series, but we are talking about imagining the movie. We are talking about a certain legal act, and when you click on the act, you can see of how many other or of how many legal components the act consists of. For instance, the European Green Deal, it is not just one legal act. It started with one legal act with 25 pages, but now it has another at least 20 components, other legal acts. They are all linked to each other, but normally you're not aware of these other 20 legal components. And we are presenting them already so that you can see what the critical mass is, and if you are really need to read all of them, or if you just need certain components. So also the research itself will be done in a really from a visual perspective in a different way, but also content wise, we are really speeding up the process of research and understanding.
Makes sense. Yeah. So, so since you are actually been in this field for quite some time, like so what are the common challenges in terms of the digital adoption in this legal industry?
Well, of course, it is always an issue to convince lawyers to deal with or to use legal tech. But what we can see in the, I think at least in the recent years, and maybe it was also a bit pushed by the corona pandemic was that more and more people can see that there's really to need to use legal tech applications, how efficient they are. So I think at least in Europe we made a massive progress within the recent 2 or 3 years, I would say. And so the digital adoption itself, I think, is has much more just improved, I would say. So the sales process itself, meanwhile, is much easier than it would have been, I don't know, 3 4 years ago.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So, over to the other aspects in the Lex AI services. So, first of all, talking about the data, like, what are the primary sources of data in your application, and how much, how the entire platform is actually handling this particular data, and what is the reliability factor of this data which is being
Yeah.
presented actually?
Yeah. So indeed, the source of the data, this is one of the most important issues also for us, and we are only dealing with the let's say official sources. Currently, we are focusing on European law, so we rely on the EuroLex website, where the Commission, Parliament, and so on, they are publishing the drafts, but of course also the final legal acts which are already effective. And we are only relying on this content, the official law. We do not rely on any other summaries, not on summaries of any other law firms or something like this. We are only relying on the official legal text. This is really important for us, because what we do not want to have is that when you're usually reading a kind of a summary from a law firm or another aggregated format, there's always something that says, yeah, this is positive, this is negative, but we want really to keep it neutral, because what we do not do is any special legal consultancy. We do not know the single problem of a client or of the law firm or whatever. We are really only active in the area to find and to understand the law itself, but we do not evaluate it in a certain way. We are only aggregating it, and that's why we are only relying and this is really, this will always remain like this, only on the official sources. And that's why we have no real issues with the reliability, because it is the official text of the law. And this is really a core point of our business.
Okay, okay. So I think since it's a very curated list, so maybe the bias factor is also being handled in that way. So I believe
Yeah.
that we.
So indeed, this was also something we were thinking of when we created the idea for Lex AI, how to handle this issue. But this is why we are really keeping it neutral in such a way, because no one then can afterwards say to us, oh, your summary, your analysis, which was created by your NLP algorithm, was somehow biased or something like this. No, we rely only on the official wording, nothing else.
Okay, okay, great. So over to the next aspect on the workflow part. So like, what all stages Lex AI can actually support in legal firms' day-to-day workflow?
Um, with regards to the day-to-day workflow, we can really support them daily because each day there's a new law. There's the need to understand something, to be up to date. This is, of course, the most essential thing for a lawyer, because the learning process itself never stops, never ends. And first of all, we are in the law firm really, we are a daily application. And we are, with regards to the value chain, we are only in the very beginning. As I said, we are just active in the research, knowledge, gaining knowledge management area. What comes afterwards, how these data are processed, if they are used for an internal knowledge management training, for an internal or external newsletter to clients, or if they are included into a contract, in a presentation, into sales activities of a law firm, or into a management briefing, or whatever they want to do with that is possible. But we are just in the very beginning, where we are preparing are all these processes which are coming, or process steps which are coming after the research and knowledge management process. We are just, as I said in the very beginning, we are only active in this area, and this is also our intention, just to be there, because there are enough other, I think, suppliers which are offering contract management, lifecycle processes, and so on. This is a completely other area. We are already, time-wise, before.
Okay, okay, makes sense. So, so how is the customer engagement is tracked and monitored in your platform?
Good question. And to be honest, currently, as we are really in the very beginning, and effectively we started November last year, we do and cannot track it yet. What we are doing instead is, with the existing customers we already have, law firms and legal departments of industrial companies, we are doing regular feedback calls, which we are where we are also collecting really the feedback, how they are using our product, how it helps them, if it helps them, and of course to what extent it helps them, if it increases their efficiency or even not, what we can improve. And this is really, especially in the beginning, very important for us, because then we can really now, in the very beginning, improve our product, our concept, and also evaluate it, what we need to change. But we are also at the same time collecting ideas for new product features, which we will integrate in the beginning. We can evaluate them also with other clients, what one of our clients is bringing in. Of course, we can also discuss this then with the other ones, if this would only be also be useful for them. So this is how we are using it, how we are handling it today. But in the future, once the app and all the features will be fully available, then we will also track the time, how long people are using our app, how often they are using it per day, and so on, so that we can really track the amount of, let's say, clicks, but also derive from that the usability of certain product features within the app, which is really important, because if it turns out that one feature is never used at all, then of course maybe there will be the point in time in the future where we say, okay, we need to change that, or maybe we delete one of the product features completely, because we thought it might be useful, but in fact no one is using it. So, but this is something for the future, but we will definitely integrate it. Of course, it will be an essential part to develop and improve our product.
So over to the next aspect regarding the AI tech stack in the entire Lex AI platform. So could you talk a little bit about the AI components which are actually used in the tech stack? Like I remember you did mention about the NLP
Yeah,
toolkit, but like yeah,
yeah.
if you could elaborate on what exactly is being happening in the tech stack.
Yeah, exactly. The AI component comes in when we are developing the and producing the our summary and wallpaper formats. This is the point where we are bringing on our NLP model, which we of course are permanently improving, because we are at the very beginning, and this will, by the way, always be an integral and essential part of our business. But with this NLP model, we are able to analyze new and also updated regulations in a much shorter time frame, and to create summaries and wallpapers in a standardized way, so that people can really get used to a certain format, And as it is standardized, they are really pretty or quickly able to understand that and speed up the knowledge management and understanding process. So this is our AI component, and it's a very important one because this also makes us internally much more efficient than, let's say, a traditional legal back office, which does everything manually.
Right, right. So we does the same set of process actually, but in the ESG domain, and that's something which we are creating for the ESG due diligence team basically. So exactly the same
Oh,
way as you mentioned. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah. So like, is there any AI model as a service platform built by the Lex AI team which is being open sourced, or like is it being shared across, or how is it actually working?
No, this is not the case. What we are currently not offering is Lex AI as a service, let's say, platform, so that in terms of that everybody can use our NLP model. This is not the case. The Lex AI platform itself, yes, with all of the legal sources and special formats like our summaries and wallpapers. But what we are currently not offering, not yet, is an API where people can use our what we call Lex AI summarizer, so that they can create their own summaries about other, I don't know, contracts, other regulatory texts. This is what we are not offering. We have already requests for that. But with regards to the development and also how we want to develop itself and position our product in the market, we do not offer this yet, but we have this in our development pipeline.
Great, great. So, yeah, so over to the other aspects about Lex AI. So, like, could you talk a little bit about your team, their work culture, and their background?
Yeah, our team we are four co-founders, and I'm among them. I'm the lawyer, and I also had the original idea for Lex AI. But of course, I'm only the lawyer, and I need much more skills really to make the to realize the idea for Lex AI, and of course to build the platform around. And that's why I was looking for some co-founders, and the very first one was Mike Neubauer, a very experienced consultant. I already worked with him for many years, so we have a really, let's say, trustful relationship. And I told him the idea, and immediately he was really keen on it. And then he said, "Yeah, I know two other guys, Tanner and Daniel. They are really experienced in AI and platform development. They have already done a lot of things also with NLP. He was in contact with them already 2 years ago, and I said, okay, then let's set up a call, and we will see how we can take it from there. If they like the idea, if they can also bring in, also technical ideas, how to develop something in a very efficient way, and what else we can do. And this was more or less 1.5 years ago, beginning of 2021, when we had the very first call. And after this first call, we really felt, I think, that we had complementary skills, so there is no overlap, and that it is really or would be useful, to put this together and to start it. And of course, then we had several more meetings, and we to develop the idea of Lex AI further, to discuss already different product features, the market fit, which was really essential before we decided officially to found the company in May 2021. But we are really experienced founders. We are not, let's say, typical students. We are already a bit older than the ordinary startup founder.
Oh, it's great to hear the story actually, and yeah, I think it's pretty new, right? I didn't I thought like it's around 2 3 years, but yeah, it's only founded last year. It's good. So yeah, so regarding the business model, like, so what is the revenue generation system in place for the business model uh, for Lex AI solution? Like, if
Yeah.
it's something which you can actually share it.
Yes, I can. This is pretty simple. It's a subscription model. This is, as people know it from various other SaaS applications. It's just a subscription model. Basically, it's a monthly one. Currently, as we have only, let's say, we are completely active in the B2B area. We have only law firms and industrial companies as clients. Um, we have more long term contracts with them because they are not only interested to use it 1 month. They rely on this or want to rely on this also in the future. But what we will also offer for, let's say, yeah, just people who also need to understand the law, but who are not lawyers, and also for students, a student's license. And the student's license will start around 1929 euro per month, which is pretty cheap. So we will have different, different, let's say, types of subscription models. But basically, we have this. We have the one which is more for a for a long term contract relationship. But of course, you can cancel it on a monthly basis. This is what is currently planned and what is also currently possible.
Okay, okay, got it. So on the industrial collaboration, so what are the collaborations are like which the team is actually currently involved in the space?
Yeah, also a good question, because as a startup, it is always useful to have some industrial collaborations. I think the we have two interesting ones I can already mention. The first one is a collaboration with Iurio from Austria. It's also a company which is dealing with efficiency solutions within a law firm. So they have a bit of a different focus, but they are also offering a kind of a platform where a law firm, but also I think legal departments, can handle all of their legal issues, and at the same time also provides compliance and data security matters with regards to personal data protection, so typical GDPR issues in Europe. So that you can also be safe from a compliance perspective. And as we found out that our products that they are not in competition to each other, but would be more or less complementary and are really useful to use both components. We said, okay, a collaboration would make sense, and I would like to use the chance really to announce our first common workshop, which we will have on the 20th September, I think. And who wants to join the workshop? It's absolutely for free. We will also announce it on LinkedIn and Instagram and so on. Dial in, and you can just listen and find out how we are, how we can raise with both products the efficiency in a law firm. A more international cooperation we have with Rain Court. Rain Court is this US-based platform uh, which validates legal tech products, which is like a kind of, or the Rain Court provides a kind of an, let's say, audit, because only legal tech products and applications which are audited by Rain Court will be available on this platform. And this is really important for us because, first of all, it's an US based platform which can drive, of course, our sales activities, and it also provides a kind of a quality stamp for us, because once we are listed there, this means that we are providing a product which law firms can trust in. So this is this will be really a big step for us forward. And I think in roughly 4 weeks, we will be listed there once the auditing process will be done successfully. and we are already looking forward to it.
Yes, that's great actually. And all the very best for that. Uh, so regarding so this is my last question. So what lies ahead for Lex AI as a solution?
Yeah, what really ahead of us is we have many sales meetings and product presentations within the next weeks. So of course, what is ahead? Gaining new customers. That's of course as a startup the most important thing now. But at the same time, in our back office, of course, we drive the development of our products. We train the NLP model. We are taking new employees on board. We are always looking for qualified NLP experts, but also, of course, we need some legal experts because not everything is done automatically. Otherwise, we would just be a four-people company and remain a four-people company. So there are a lot of things going on in parallel, and yeah, we are really excited and looking forward to it.